ESPN Honolulu brings you Call the Coach with Todd Graham, presented by Paxa, Coors Light, and Ruby Tuesday Hawaii.
Now, this is your football team.
Cordero wants to run it himself. He's heading for the end zone. Touchdown, Hawaii.
We'll be a program about winning championships.
And also brought to you by HGEA, Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union, and IBEW Local 1186. You can catch Call the Coach on the air on ESPN Honolulu's Facebook page or live from Ruby Tuesday Moanalua. Now alongside Coach Todd Graham, here's Bobby Curran.
Edition of Call the Coach with Rainbow Warrior head coach Todd Graham. 16 days away, Coach, from your date with Destiny in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, we're excited about it. It's we've been counting it down for a long time. I think it's we've counted it down for about 100 days. So we're pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm glad you've done that because I think back when, and it's about 100 years ago when I was 18, 19, 20, when someone was thinking 3 months off, you thought, it's forever. But I think the more rings you get around the tree, the more you realize that's coming up.
I'm with you.
And here it is.
Yeah, we're excited about our guys. We had a great camp so far. It's been a very physical camp, very fast. I mean, we've got our. I think we've really made great progress with our tempo, and man, our guys are working extremely hard, doing everything we ask, and preparing to go to the Rose Bowl and win.
Well, I don't think there's any moral. This is a program that the point we're at, there's no moral victories. It's get in there, execute, and see if you can't come away with a W.
Right. Like I said last week, I don't. I say pretty much what I believe, and when I was a younger head coach, I would tamper, expectations and all that, but. This is the kind of game that our players want to play in. It's the kind of game that our coaches want to coach in, and we've got a great belief in each other. And man, this is awesome for our young people to have an opportunity to go and compete on this kind of stage. And the thing that you're after is to win.
Well, Coach, it's funny because perhaps I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but when after that Houston game, and I said this last week, I said, well, why? How did some of these prognosticators not get that was the first time that you had a couple of solid weeks of practice where you could start to integrate some of the concepts, playing a little more up-tempo. I thought you were a little more diversified on defense. It clearly took Houston by surprise. I'm like, well, I'm thinking with a whole offseason, the training, as you always talk about, and spring practice, that's just going to be enhanced.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, everybody has everybody back pretty much, no matter where they're at in college football. So it's probably the most experienced bunch. And so, how well you've trained and developed over the last year is going to be big. And everybody's going to be better. But I can tell you we're a whole lot better. Well,
it was exciting to watch the scrimmage because I just noticed that there's a pep in the step. And even at one point, I was at a corner, like and stuff down there, and someone said, hey, get those. And guys sprinted down to move them. I was like, whoa, this is a whole new deal here. Yeah. And everybody I think once it starts, it doesn't really stop with everybody up tempo. And I was also thinking, well, when the offense is moving quicker, the defense has to respond. There's no way around that. So I got to think you guys are going to be in as good or better condition than anybody you play.
That's the idea, is that we're going to have elite discipline. We've got young men with great character, and they've really bought into our program and really buy in and understand that you want to win a championship, that you have to have elite discipline. It's 11 guys on the field operating with one heartbeat. And, that's the whole idea of it. And there is a strategy behind it. I think this is my 14th year to be a head coach, and we've averaged about 86, 87 plays a game on offense, and we've averaged about 68 plays on defense. So the whole idea of being an up-tempo team is creating a fifth quarter. The faster you line up, and obviously we're a pro-style run, play, action, pass team that's going to take whatever they give us. So we're going to be a rhythm passing team. We're going to take whatever they give us, whether it be the run or the pass. But when you're running the ball, you're completing passes, you're moving the down markers, the clock is running. And so you're able to line up faster and operate faster and more efficient than your opponent. And I like having those extra snaps. It gives you a better opportunity to win the football game. So that's the reason why we're no huddle is not to trick anybody. It's all about creating a fifth quarter, and then obviously that's when our training comes in, that we talk about elite discipline and the fact that we train, practice, and work these guys at a different level.
Well, the pace has got to, I have to think, and you're doing this in some heat and humidity. Now, granted, by practicing earlier in the day, in the mornings, you probably eliminate some of that, but still, by the time practice is over,
pretty hot,
pretty warm out there.
I'm pretty hot. They might not be, but I'm pretty hot because I'm not trained at all to do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just walking around. So yeah, it's been a few days. It's been really, really hot, and I'm trying to figure it out. You know, I coached in Arizona, I coached in Texas, and I've never wore sunscreen, which is probably not very smart. But let me tell you,
you're wearing it here.
I'm wearing it here because about every 7 days you get torched.
My lips peeling
my lips were so sunburned last week. I was just absolutely miserable.
Well, you were. I could tell you were a little hoarse last week. You seem to have gotten command of that. I guess you got that little thing to enhance the microphone because we could hear you during the scrimmage. You don't really take any plays off either.
No. I tell it. We coach in short verbal blasts. You know, that's how we do it. And but no, my voice is still a little bit cracky, but it's going to get a lot. It's going to get a lot worse because today I think our offense scored about I don't know how many. Gene, how many touchdowns was it today? There was a whole bunch of touchdowns today, so my voice is probably going to be gone after tomorrow.
Well, I can't, if that's what it takes, Coach, then it's a good thing. We don't want you to have a voice then if that's what the result is.
We'll play a little defense too now. There's good and bad in that.
Okay, we should mention that every day that we do this show, Coach has mentioned he's going to bring a couple of players. We have offensive lineman Gene Pryor here with us tonight. And also, as the coach describes as the smartest guy on this team, Hekili Keli'iliki is here with us at all. He's a multi-talented guy. Can play tight end and H-back and I imagine fullback. I mean, he's pretty much another guy that you have multiple uses for.
Well, I think one of the things that he's really, really proud, we actually from the time we start training after the bowl game all the way through the spring, all the way through the summer, we have a point system every day that has to do with dependability, durability, coachability, toughness, improvement, work in training, and he was he got the award for the number one player in our program. It's called the Hammer Award.
Wow!
And I probably didn't pronounce that right. I think it's the Hammer. The Hammer Award. So really proud of him, and these two guys epitomize what our program's all about, and I'm just a joy to coach.
Well, you'll hear from both Gene Pryor and Hekili Keli'iliki later. I'm really feel good. I feel pretty good that I'm getting that one down. I bet Hekili, you've had your name mispronounced a number of times here before, but we're going to make sure.
Coach Graham has mispronounced his name a lot.
We're gonna make sure when we're on the radio we're going to get it right. Okay, here's a text for you, Coach. Are some of the recruits signed for 2021 that aren't on the roster gray shirting?
Yeah, we've got some guys that are basically, it's called a gray shirt. We're pushing back to January. That is really I think a really positive thing for guys coming out of high school, and it allows them another 6 months to develop, and we got three really good players that we have that are actually gray shirting, and they'll be joining us in January.
Okay, here's the other question, and I'd like to hear your answer to this one too. What do you think of this conference realignment in football?
I think there's a lot of I love college football. I love the collegiate model, and I think a lot of people don't understand the implications of all the things that are happening. And I guess I love this game. This game, has been so good to me. I'm the first person in my family to get an education because I got a football scholarship. So very grateful to this game. And I've seen over the years, not just in football, but in all sports, non-revenue sports and revenue sports, basically your revenue sports fund all the sports.
Yep.
And a lot of people going out in the community, they're going and doing great things. And I had a daughter that was an athlete, and So, I think it's a good thing. And so a lot of the things that you see happening in football now are, to me, are scary because it threatens the collegiate model, in my opinion. I think we should be doing more for our players and long-term health insurance and, give it, I think them having the opportunity to be able to pay for their transportation home, be able to give them, I think there's lots of things that we need to be doing. The realignment deal is all about big money for somebody else.
Right.
It's big money for, the NCAA and college football and the networks and the TV money and all that stuff. And I just hate to see, football, college ever be, made professional, because I think there's, I love collegiate sports. I love the opportunity. A lot of people don't understand that they say, well, with your sports bringing in the revenue, why should that be like that? And I think it's a beautiful thing. Over years and years, it's provided unbelievable amount of opportunities for all kinds of different athletes in different sports. And so I think, obviously, it's going to be what it is. But it seems like that the rich keep getting richer when it comes to that. And man, we should protect the sport and protect the collegiate part of it, is my opinion.
I hate guys not graduate, because that's always been a big part of it in the past. I know that's important to you. I look at the Alabama quarterbacks, hadn't taken a snap yet, I don't think, and he's making $1 million this year. And I thought, listen, I want to see the kids all get something to get taken care of.
Yeah,
but that just seems crazy.
Yeah, I'm all for them benefit. I'm all for us doing more for the players. There's no doubt that I'm all for that. But the other side of it is making it fair. So if you're in a league and one quarterback can get, $1
million,
$1 million, and he can't get 10,000 to come to your place. Well, that's going to be that's hard to compete with, and it just doesn't make things fair. And but that's kind of what it goes to. I think that most of the decisions nowadays, I think, are made based on just dollars and cents and not what's best for, I think, the sport, and I think for the players that play it.
Okay, this is another text. This is Ken. Thanks for being such a positive influence for the team and university. Could you expand on the linebacker situation? And do you expect Jeremiah Pritchard back this season?
I don't. Jeremiah, obviously, very bad accident, and but we're obviously, hopeful that he'll be able to make it back. And if not, hopefully there's a way that we can do everything we can to get him another year. But that's not something that I anticipate him being back this season, I think. And he's doing well, recovering and getting better. But that's also and obviously a big loss for us on our defense. And so our linebacker situation, obviously Darius Musau, Panay, Isaiah, Tufanga. I mean, those three guys have probably been on the defense. Have been the most, really challenged our players to push out of their comfort zone, their intensity, how much they've improved, their physicality, how they've approached things. I really think that group, and I said this last week, I think our offensive line is one that's really improved tremendously, and our running backs now are, our practices are physical, really, really physical. It's night and day from where it was last year. But the linebacker core those are the three veterans for the two positions. And then obviously, we'll play with three linebackers and what we call a dog backer. And Otay Baker is playing there along with DeJuan. Matthews is playing there as well. And so we've got a really solid crew. Riley Wilson is another young linebacker that's a freshman that we think's got great promise, that's getting better, and Josh Berthelot from Louisiana is another one that we think's got great promise there. And we got a whole bunch of other guys that are competing. It's been very competitive. Obviously, those three top guys, Panay, Isaiah, and Darius. And obviously special. I think Panay, Panay was coming off a knee injury. I've seen probably the most dramatic improvement in him maybe as much as anybody on our team.
That's good news, because
and
when he was healthy before,
yeah.
a couple of years, he was a factor.
Well, he's running, and he's powerful, and got a great spirit about what he's doing, really buying into the leadership. And I guess it's our mental maturity as a team is grown so much, and those are all great signs, because it speaks to your ability to develop discipline, elite self-discipline. And I think we've made great strides there.
296-1420 is the number. Give us a call if you like. You're welcome to text us to that same number. We need to take a quick time out. We'll be right back. We're at Ruby Tuesdays, and this is Call the Coach. So don't get close. Let me start with you, Gene. You are a repeat senior.
Yes, sir.
Which is a kind of a great benefit to get to be able to do this again with your teammates.
Well, that was a big part. COVID, brought down our season and kind of cut it short. So it was a big blessing when we got our year of eligibility back, and I was able to come back with my team and finish out the right way.
Well, I mean, you guys finished. I thought you finished last year in a great way, because that bowl game, a double-digit underdog. You won by double digits yourselves. I just thought it was maybe a harbinger of things to come, because you guys look so good and so different in that game. Mm. I was surprised to see that you were picked a little lower than I would have thought, although every single guy I talked to, including the guy from the Mountain West, has said, here's the thing. He goes, I probably would take a UNLV out of this, but in the West, he goes, everybody else can win the title. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you guys are aiming at. I'm sure of that. Hey, Keely, you came here from Bentonville, Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
Could people say your name there?
No.
I would imagine you heard some pretty interesting derivations on your name in Bentonville.
Definitely just learned to respond to anything that was anything close.
Well, which is kind of fun, because you come out here, and with so many people of Polynesian descent, for a lot of people, it's not a big challenge.
Yeah, it's definitely been nice.
I'm
to
sure
hear
of
my
that.
name pronounced correctly.
Okay, you're playing pretty diverse roles on this team. You've got a number of places they can put you. Is that kind of more fun?
Yeah, I think it's fun. It always just keeps me on my toes and just makes practice a little bit more interesting as well.
Now, Coach did share with me that you're one of the better students and one of the smarter guys in his mind on this team.
Oh, without a doubt.
Where?
Oh, appreciate you.
That was Gene, by the way. That wasn't Hekili self-promoting. So, what's your major?
I'm actually doing a double major right now in biology and Chinese language.
Wow, that can't be easy. Could you just rattle off a little Chinese if we asked you?
Yeah, if you wanted me to.
Sure, I'd like you to say, great to see everybody here tonight.
大家好，我很感谢你们过来这里来怎么说鼓励我们。
That's pretty impressive stuff. That's well done. So when you're an orthopedic surgeon, you can do that anywhere from Beijing to Houston or Bentonville, for that matter. Let me get to this, because coming here from Bentonville, I'm wondering, because obviously the name gives away that you're Polynesian in your ancestry. How was it, culture shock, or did you kind of feel at home as soon as you got here?
I felt pretty at home when I got here, even though I'm from the mainland with my grandparents growing up out here, and with my grandparents being super local and all that. Just interacting with them, you get a feel for the culture, and then just coming out and visiting when I was young.
So what about in terms of food? Because I'm guessing in Bentonville it's barbecue and God knows what else. What you're eating all the local stuff, I guess, here, huh?
Oh yeah, no. I grew up with it. My mom would make it, and so I just love local food, and so I'm all about it.
That's fabulous. Well, guys, I'm just keeping an eye here, because when your dinner gets here, we're going to let you go. But I do want to get to this. Gene, highlights in your time in Hawaii?
My highlights would have to be after morning workouts. Me and some of the boys would go down to Kaimana Beach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in Waikiki, and just go to the beach and just really bond and talk about our workout and our plans for the season and what we want to do.
Well, are those guys that you hang with, are they mostly other O linemen?
Yeah, O linemen and D linemen.
Wow.
We got a special bond.
Big guys stick together.
Yeah, special bond.
There you go. That's how it ought to be, I guess.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite thing about coming to Hawaii and being part of this program?
Just the people, really, just coming home and just feeling the support that people give for the program, because with Hawaii being the way it is, without any real professional sports, just being part of the football team where anywhere you go on the island, people are just willing to support you, and they let you know how much they care about the program. It's been a huge plus for me.
Yeah, I'm guessing, and Gene, maybe you can attest to this because you've been here a while now. There just is a little bit of a different feeling here than I get when I'm on the mainland and you talk to some of the, even at the Pac-12 schools. I don't know that there's quite the community bond that there is here with this team.
Most definitely. I come from the mainland. I'm 45 minutes away from Fresno State.
Wow.
So being over there, they don't really rep it as much. But when I'm over here, I definitely feel the bond of people are excited for the season, people excited to see what we're going to do on and off the field, wanting to know what we're getting into for spring ball and stuff like that. And that really just boost our self-esteem and getting us ready for the season.
You guys are going to have an unusual situation, Gene. You're used to Aloha Stadium. I mean, that's where, and Hekili, you too. And now you guys are going to be playing on campus in Ching Field, which should be ripe to get a lot of the student body out. Mm-hmm. It's small, but it's going to be intimate. My guess is it's going to be loud.
Most definitely. Just being around Waikiki and talking to a lot of the fans and stuff, they're excited to be able to come out with it being so close to home. They're excited to pack the stadium out and just cheer for us for the season.
You guys aren't going to have a long walk to get ready for the games.
Not one bit.
Hopefully not.
Don't have to get on any buses or do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited. I think the whole community is excited about this team this year, and I really had it was a terrific experience. I got to be on the plane with you guys. And I was on there. I guess you guys probably just went. Did you go right to Bentonville from the game in Houston?
No,
against Houston.
Well, I didn't end up making the trip to the
I
bowl
see.
game
Okay.
because my wife had a baby.
Wow!
So,
congratulations, by the way.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's terrific.
Yeah, so I got to support the guys from home with my baby. So.
Well, there you go. And Gene, I'm guessing because I know the way it worked on the way home, a lot of guys you might have been one of them that got off in L.A. Did you do that last year?
Yeah, I actually flew home separately with my parents.
Wow,
Yeah.
how nice that was.
Yeah, it was a special moment after we won the game and just flying home with the win. So.
Well, and the other thing was being on that plane on the way home. Everybody got home here in time for it was just Christmas morning. That was one happy group, I got to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
I just think that it was a way to kind of demonstrate this is who we are to everybody on the mainland.
Most definitely.
One of the things, and by the way, did you have a boy or a girl?
Baby girl.
Wow. What's her name?
Anuhea.
There, you went right with you stayed in character with that one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a name you're going to hear a lot. They'll be able to say that in Bentonville at some point, I imagine. Let me get to something. This is a question, I'm assuming. This is for Hekili. What was it like growing up in Arkansas, and how did your family end up there?
Growing up in Arkansas, full disclosure, I actually only went to Arkansas for high school, but I still claim it as home for myself.
Right.
But my family ended up out there because my dad got a job with Walmart out in Bentonville. But growing up just living in Arkansas, it was actually, it's a big culture shock from where I was before, but in terms of people, it was great. Like Southern hospitality, all of that, it was around, and it was just great to be able to just interact with people.
People were friendly, and obviously, did you enjoy the football there?
Yeah, no, the people there are super friendly. Where I was, it's really big. They're really big into high school football, and so you'd walk around and people would recognize you, and it's kind of similar to here, really.
You know what I kind of find, and Coach has kind of alluded to this, because I think there's some similarities between the big football states, Florida, Texas, and certainly Hawaii, where numbers may be smaller here, but there's a lot of communities, just like it is in Texas, where football's important. It's generational and kind of an important deal. Well, I think we know this. It's going to be very important as we move forward, because you guys are repping a whole community, a state, and of course the most important thing, I think, is always you're playing for each other. It's so nice to have you guys down here. I really love that Coach is availing all of us of the opportunity to meet you guys in person. I'm going to let you get back because I think you're very close to your dinner being served. So what we'll do is take a quick time out, and then we'll be right back. Ruby Tuesdays. This is Call the Coach.
time.
We're talking about University of Hawaii football. This is Call the Coach, presented by Ruby Tuesday Hawaii.
Tuesdays in Moanalua, we encourage people to come down if you like. You can catch us on Facebook Live. If you're listening on ESPN Honolulu, we're happy to have you that way. And, of course, we're very grateful for everybody that comes down and enjoys this with us of a Thursday evening. Coach, there's a couple of things that I'm sure a lot of people are interested in. You guys have very obviously got answered, and I thought did a terrific job of answering specific needs in the recruiting process. I mean, you guys didn't just go, it was definitely not best player available. It was like, we need this, we got to get defensive linemen, we need some help in the second. I mean, you kind of went, you specifically, let's get a really good running back or two, let's grab a receiver or two, and I thought you answered the bell in every category.
Well, we think so. I mean, we feel good about it. I mean, obviously camp has shown that. We obviously wanted to get better edge rushers on defense. Not have to be so creative about how to pressure the quarterback. And then just better tackling, off the edge. The biggest thing we did last year, was give up some big play runs where we just got to get a guy tackled, And so those are the two big areas on defense, obviously. And then, offensively, we always are after playmakers. And, and then obviously, creating depth on our offensive line. We got a very veteran offensive line. And we think that is really developed, and then we obviously had a need for tight ends because there wasn't any on the roster. Right. So we've really we think to have done a really good job there, and are pleased with those guys.
So I know that you're going to play a number of guys. Do you plan on occasionally playing a couple of tight ends at the same time?
Yeah, I do. One of the things, we want to be a physical football team, and to do that, you have to, play with what I refer to as broad blocking surfaces, and being able to, to have guys that can. It's just easier to create, surfaces to run the football, and so we'll play at times with, no tight end. Sometimes we'll play with one tight end. Sometimes we'll play with two or three tight ends. So we'll be very multiple in what we do.
Okay, Coach, I got a couple of texts here. This is Ryan on Facebook. How are you liking so far the newly remodeled TC Ching Stadium?
Well, we love it. I mean, I think the new surface has been really nice, for us to have, and we made it where it looks like it's freshly mowed.
It really does. It really does look that way.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I think it's like I don't know how many. It's been a bunch of fields over the years that I've put in. I've always liked that. I just liked the way that looked, and so that was basically only the request that I made. But it's really nice for our guys, and I think they did a good job, with the surface and all that. We're trying to obviously get used to that and spend time on it. There's to get it to settle and all the things that it needs to do. But it's been very nice, and it's very obviously there's a lot of construction going on around and all that, and but it's coming together nicely.
Now, the other corollary from Ryan is that, can you talk a little bit about the atmosphere and what to expect? What do you expect?
I don't know. I mean, obviously we're very hopeful that we'll have a full capacity crowd.
Okay,
open that for our fans.
Yeah.
The thing I love about football, which it's obviously not my, I don't really have a say in it or a decision. I'm not a part of that process, but one of the things I love, I'm a fan of college football. I love when we drive the bus in, and every place I've been, we would stop the bus, short of where we're going, and we walk through the tailgaters. I mean, to me, game day, tailgating, it's not just a game; it's an all-day event, man. No, and so obviously, I'm looking. That's what I'm hoping that we're gonna, eventually or sooner rather than later get back where we're going to have a complete game day experience, and obviously for our loyal fans that be able to accommodate all them, that I want them to know that I talk to our players often about whom they represent, the hardworking people in this state that purchase the tickets and support our program, that support their efforts. And, we talk a lot about that. The season ticket holders, I know I've met many that have been 50 years, 40 years, 30 years. We're very, very grateful. I know this is a tough time and a trying time with all the things that are going on, but just know this, you've got a football team and a coaching staff that appreciates your support, and we're going to work hard to make you proud on that football field.
Okay, we got another text here, Coach. Let me just read it to you. Are you continuing the tradition of having a pool day on the last day of fall camp?
Haven't done that. So we didn't do that last year. So probably not. I don't know.
I'm not even should be allowed, actually.
Yeah, I would love to have a pool day, especially right after practice.
Yeah.
But no, we might have a water balloon fight or something like that. I'd like to. There's a couple of our coaches I'd like to take a water balloon to. And no, we might have a water balloon fight, and maybe. I'll tell you what I like is that shaved ice, man. That's I'd like to have that after every practice. So
I hear you.
we might do something like that, but no, we haven't done the pool deal. So
okay, here's another.
But I'm more than open.
I got you. Where's your? This is a question, and I guess I'm going to have to disqualify Ruby Tuesdays from this because I think that would be your obvious answer. Where's your number one place to eat on the island?
My wife's cooking.
Wow, at home. That's nice to be able to say that, Coach.
I'm a smart man. That's why I've gotten to hang around
yeah,
I've gotten to hang around for about 25 years. I hope to make it 25 more.
Well, there you go. Okay, I think that now if you have something, this is a great time to jump in with us. 296-1420. There's one more text. This is from Matthew for the coach. How is the program planning, or are there plans to honor Colt Brennan this season?
Well, I'm going to tell you this, and actually, when I first got here, one of the things I think is important. My mother, my granddad. I come from a very traditional background. Even though my mom was a single mom, but was taught at an early age to have respect for the people that have come before you. And when you look, actually when I got here, I said, why that, there wasn't something, because you're talking about a person that, threw for 58 touchdowns and was the runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And so, we're obviously I don't make that decision, but we are obviously, that's very, very important to me that we honor not only what a great quarterback and competitor he was, but what a great human being and person he was. And none of us are perfect. We all, I'm on my best behavior tonight. You're not. Everybody's got good and bad in them, and people make mistakes, stuff like that. But that shouldn't affect how we honor the people that have come before us. And so I'm hoping that we would do any and all. I mean, I would hope if we had a quarterback throw for 40 touchdowns in a year, they'd have a statue erected of him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
58 touchdowns and what he did, and taking his team to the Sugar Bowl. Man, I hope that's and that's obviously what we recommended and said that we think it's important, and so we actually have had a person in that jersey that we took him out of the jersey, so we can do that. Right. But as long as I'm here, there won't be anybody in that jersey. So that's the way I feel about it. It's where our players feel about it. A lot of our players were growing up, and when he was here, right. And so
probably watch some of the stuff on TV, I'm sure.
I mean, nothing but respect. Tremendous contribution to the community, and that's one of the things as you look at a job. I obviously knew a lot about Hawaii before I came here because I'd competed against them for many years, over a decade, and so it's important to know that history and to have great respect for that, and that's something that's important to us in our program.
We encourage you, thanks Coach, and that's getting a very positive reception here. 296-1420. If you want to speak to the coach, you can, or you continue to text. This is Dus from Facebook. Aloha, are there any plans on building a football strength and conditioning complex in the near future?
I believe there is. One of the things that I said this last week that I think is really important. We are in the competition business, and we're competing for championships. That's absolutely going to be what our goal is. As long as I'm here, that's what it's going to be, because our players deserve that, our fans deserve that, and probably the single most important thing coming in and assessing and evaluating is our ability to deliver the philosophy that we want to deliver. And our whole philosophy is about training and developing. Obviously, you want to recruit players that have great character, that possess the opportunity to have high level of discipline, and you want guys that are obviously explosive athletes and great athletes that want to be a part of our place and represent this state. But we have to have, we're behind in that, and just about every team in our league is built a performance center, so we're behind there. That's one thing that's a must, that we have a performance center, not just to lift weights or to train, but to train, to deliver nutrition. That's probably one of the biggest challenges. Classrooms and technology to be able to teach football, and many of the people that are out there that are in business, and technology is how you maximize time. So technology is a big part of football, and so we only get 20 hours a week, and we are very primitive in what we have from a technology standpoint. And I'm a teacher. I believe in the teacher model. And so that's something that has to happen. It's probably the single most important thing. And I can tell you this, the potential that the University of Hawaii football has is off the chain. If we can develop a performance center that we can deliver, not only for football, but for every sport. And that's something that I've been a part of doing it, at 3 other universities, really 4. Every place I've been, it's all about having, being able to train and develop, and very, very practical things. There's nothing, we understand the challenges that we have financially, and we're not, nothing. We're not trying to get something elaborate or anything like that. We need to be on an equal playing field with the people that we're competing with, and so that's going to be very, very important. And I think it's one of the big factors that in local recruiting, because you can't hide. They know what when they go over to people that we're playing against, and they go to their facilities and then they come to ours. There's a big difference. There's a drastic difference, and so we've got to give them a reason to want to stay home. And there's a lot of reasons to want to stay home. But right now, that's one that's not working in our favor. That we've got it. That's something that's the thing that I'm going to work the hardest on, that we have to get delivered. And obviously, to do that, we need to win a whole bunch of football games and get some support and be able to raise some money and be able to generate that. Because I think if we were able to deliver that, the potential is off the chart.
Coach, I got another text, but I'm going to wait just a moment because we need to take a quick break and encourage people to call 296-1420. Light it up. You can continue to text, but we'd love it if you want to talk to the coach in person. We are at Ruby Tuesdays, and this is Call the Coach.
You're listening to Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu, presented by Paxa.
Tuesdays for Call the Coach. I did have one remaining text I've held on to, and we'll read that right now. And this is just in your, I guess, part of your game day plans, or even the night before. Are you planning, almost everybody here has, are you and the team still going to stay in a hotel the night before the game?
Yeah, we always do.
Yeah. I think that's, I don't know if is there anybody in college football that this level that doesn't do that?
I don't know anybody in Division I that wouldn't do that. Yeah. It's so important to have your team together, be able to feed them, be able to make sure that we're focused. And obviously we got to have meetings, and there's quite a bit goes into it before game for kickoff.
Right. I think that maybe when someone asks a question like that, I think they might be a little naive about what this entails. Because it's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big group. So it's you want to keep them together, and obviously the mental preparation that it takes the complexities of the game and your game plan, and making sure that you obviously are in tune and everybody's focused and dialed into what your plan A is, and then you got to make sure that you're prepared and they know what our adjustments are going to be as well. And then the game happens, and you have to you adjust or you die. That's the way it works.
What does the cable guy say? Get her done.
Yep.
Which is sort of the deal. Let me ask you about your experiences in the Rose Bowl. Obviously, you brought Arizona State there at least. I don't know if anybody else along the way ever.
I did. Rice. We played there in Rice
Wow.
in 2006, and I think they beat us 22-18. We had a chance
Wow.
to beat them. We were playing our third team quarterback.
That's amazing,
So
actually.
I've always played well at the Rose Bowl, and I've beat UCLA twice there.
Well, let's make it. I'm third time's a charm. Let's do it 3 times.
I'm all for it.
I'm hearing you. Let me ask you about the atmosphere there. I mean, do you stay in the same hotel all the time?
Yeah, we actually do. Yeah, I'm not. Well, I probably am a little superstitious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, kind of goes along with.
Well, I mean, why mess with something
Right,
that's
exactly.
working? So we'll stay in the same hotel. Pretty much, I pretty much have the same. I'm a very structured. I like to have the same routine on each game. The Rose Bowl is an iconic place. It's kind of weird for me because I remember me and my 3 brothers when I was a little boy. I would have to hold the coat hanger on the little 13-inch TV while we watched Keith Jackson and the Rose Bowl. So it's awesome to run out of that tunnel because of what the stadium means. But it is a differently designed stadium, so it's a little more flat and spread out, so it's not real loud. And it just depends on how many people
are in it.
And a lot of times you play there, there's they list the crowd a lot higher than it is, but it's about 50.
Yeah.
But if it gets up and there's 70, then it gets really loud. But it takes about 90,000, 93
be crazy
to really fill it up.
Right.
And so it's not that loud, and it's a different type crowd. Sometimes they're really into it if they're doing well, and then you can hear some boos if they're not doing well. So we're hoping they're doing a lot of booing.
No doubt, Coach. I'm all there. This is a text, and I guess this is someone who wasn't with us earlier in the program. Are your boys excited about the opportunity to take on UCLA and make a statement?
Absolutely. I think, our players, I don't have to motivate them for this game. They all grew up as little boys playing football, and they dream of getting this opportunity and winning. It's not they don't dream of getting this opportunity and going out there and playing or getting a participation ribbon. They dream of going there and winning. And I like it because I think they got a little chip on their shoulder about it. And I know I do. That's the way I approach it. And I just when you work hard and you sacrifice for each other, you serve each other every day. You even at times, it gets really, really hard. And there's some when you get close as a team is when you suffer a little bit together. And man, it's been this group has been a awesome group because they love each other. They really do. And love is about commitment, and they're committed to each other. And so they're extremely motivated. I won't give my pregame talk will be 90 seconds. That's all I tell them to go out there and give our fans what they want, and then we talk about how we have fun, and I'll let them tell you what we say to that. So we get pretty motivated in 90 seconds and go out, and there's no doubt our guys are fired up. And I got a great belief in them that they'll play lights out, and we're going to figure out a way to get it done.
Well, you are opening with two road games. 2 of the first 3 are on the road against Pac-12 opponents. I'm guessing you wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I said this last week. Many, my philosophy places I've been in non-conference. At Tulsa we played Oklahoma and Notre Dame. At Rice we played Florida State, Texas, and UCLA back to back, all on the road. And really, those games are games that elevate you. They really do. I mean, it makes you a better Winning breeds winning. Playing against people that are at a higher level, really, really elevates your game. And especially, a lot of people ask me, well, do you learn something if you don't win? I don't learn a whole lot from losing other than I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so you learn a lot from winning those games. And to do that, obviously you have to have elite discipline to do it. And I'm honest with our players. I tell our players they'll be the best team offensively that we'll play all year. Probably is talent, no doubt the most talented team. I think Oregon State's got a lot of talent as well. There's talent in our league. Lots of talented teams in our league. But UCLA is probably the most talented team we'll play. But the talented team, the most talented don't always win, and we definitely have the talent box checked. We have enough talent to win, no doubt.
Well, Coach, this is going to be an exciting thing. You're 16 days away. You've mentioned that you're already starting to focus. The focus has already begun on UCLA in particular.
Yeah, we spent most of the summer. We do the game plans for the first 5 games. We have a game plan for all 13 of our games already done that we, as coaching staff, have broke down. But we spent extensive amount of time in the spring and in the summer, and our number one focus has been August 28th and figuring out a way to win. And so that's is something that we're working right now. I mean, every walkthrough we have, everything we're doing, that's what we're focused on because it's the next game.
Coach, we are flat out of time. It flies here, doesn't it? Well, we'll do it again next Thursday. And we'll be able to talk because you guys, I believe, have another scrimmage coming. Let's give it up for Coach Graham. And thanks to Gene Pryor and Hekili Keli'iliki. When I got that thing down, Hekili. And we'll be
pretty good at it.
We'll be back next week here, Coach, and looking forward to it again. For all of us, thanks to Rick Nakashima and everybody here at Ruby Tuesdays, from all of us at ESPN Honolulu, aloha.